Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 3 of the In the Ring Action podcast. I am your host, Peter, joined by my co host, Peter.
What is up, everybody?
All right, so we got a decent show,
Mhm.
pre show grade. You got one? How'd you grade this show? 1 to 10.
I think from the match card it has, I would mm, give it like a 7.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, 7. Solid 7 show. All right, so we got to get into the greatest Royal Rumble, to this predictions. We're gonna also, talk about who should dethrone who, superstars that should have been traded in our opinion, maybe just 2 or 3. We'll talk about the possibility of women tag team division, Rusev situation, and a lot of questions. A lot of questions. We definitely got a lot of questions. Anyway, let's get started with the predictions, and we'll start with the singles matches first. Uh, Triple H versus John Cena. Peter, who do you think is gonna win this one?
I think this is pretty obvious. I mean, Triple H has a horrible record for pay-per-view matches, and Cena has just been buried by The Undertaker. So, Cena definitely needs this win, and yeah, he'll get it.
All right, I think so too. I think John Cena wins this one, and not much of a discussion here, in my opinion. All right, so let's move on to another one that I believe should not leave us talking too much. The Undertaker versus Rusev. What do you think?
Yeah, Undertaker wins. I mean, this whole flip-flop between who his opponent was going to be, I think it was just stupid. I really didn't get why they, yeah, changed it to Jericho at first and then changed it back. But it was always clear that Taker was going to win.
Yeah, the idea was that supposedly people were scared, inside of the WWE were scared that he would be offended by Alana's comments, and they kind of flip flopped to Chris Jericho because of that. But then, it's the Undertaker. I mean, come on, he's been in the business for so long. They changed it back to Rusev, but I also think Undertaker's going to win this one, unfortunately. But whatever, it's just one of those things that people want to see in these glorified house show. The
Yeah.
Undertaker burying young talent. Why, I don't know. All right. Well, let's get into another match, and this one, the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. I believe is it a ladder match? I don't even know.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and The Miz. Obviously, Samoa Joe and The Miz now on SmackDown, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins on Raw. There's a couple of directions we could go with this. What do you think?
Mm, I mean, if they are changing it and are adding Lashley as it is rumored, I don't think it will change anything, and yeah, I can only see Rollins retaining, to be honest, because I think it's too early for Balor to win. I think they will have a feud until SummerSlam maybe again, so that Balor wins it
Just
then.
as long as he doesn't get injured again.
Yeah. And I don't think that the titles are swapping brands once again in like 2 weeks. So
Yeah. Personally, I would like to see, Samoa Joe win it, or yeah, Samoa Joe or Miz win it, and that would mean Jinder Mahal beats Jeff Hardy. But
mm,
really, we're also talking about the continuity of a champion and a long-term champion that wouldn't really help. So I as much as I would like to see a surprise, I'm hoping for Seth Rollins to retain and let them continue the whole program with the Miz until Backlash, because they do have their rematch at Backlash, and then they can move on with Finn. I guess that's what they're going to do. All right, so Jinder Mahal versus Jeff Hardy.
yeah, Jeff retains. I think he will have a short reign, but not that short. And as I've said, the titles won't change brands again. So easy.
Yeah, I think it would be, the interesting thing, but again, we need a solid champion, especially the United States Championship, which we have not had a good champion in a while. They kept flip flopping between AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, Jeff Hardy. I mean,
Yeah.
those are a lot of champions, right? So it would be good to see Jeff keep the title a little bit longer. So I expect him to win this one too. Um, Now we get to another one where I don't really think you're going to disagree with me here, but AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I have AJ Styles retired.
Uh, yeah, me too. I don't think Nakamura is ready for the title. I think he still needs like another year. So if anyone takes the title off of Styles, I think it is Brian or Joe. Yeah. So AJ retains.
The only question I got is how will he retain? I don't really know if it's going to be a clean win, which I don't really appreciate, but it
I
could
don't
be
think so.
Nakamura getting disqualified somehow, or
Mm, I would rather say that maybe the referee is, I don't know, knocked down and Styles wins the match just like he won the title from Ambrose at Backlash. So he lowballs Nakamura.
oh, that would be something. That would be something.
I mean, it just makes sense.
No, no, it does. It does. It would just be, but it would also leave that doubt. Would AJ Styles be turning? I know. Obviously, he would be giving Nakamura payback, but it would also put that question mark, like, is he turning heel though?
Yeah, no, Styles, I don't think he will turn heel in the near future.
I'm just saying though, we can plant some seeds. They can plant some seeds there if they decide to go that route. Um, but this next match I believe is the more interesting one because we can also even get into Brock Lesnar's contract, which it's all over the place. The rumors are everywhere. But anyway, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, I think as expected, Reigns will win the title, and I actually think that he will be cheered for once.
Yay!
Um, hmm?
Yay! Because I like Roman and
Oh,
he
okay.
deserves to be
Yeah,
cheered.
me too. So yeah, that's probably why they had Lesnar retain at Mania, so they can then have Reigns' title win feel like something big when he actually gets cheered. And yeah, Lesnar's contract, as you've already mentioned, it is rumored that he is getting ridiculous money for appearance, but just appearances.
Half
So,
a million, right?
hmm?
500,000, right?
No, for every TV appearance, it's 100,000, and for every pay-per-view match, it's 500,000,
Yeah,
which is still an awful lot.
yeah. I already would tally up to like 500,000 somehow. I don't really. That's the number I heard, but it's a ridiculous amount of money. But again, it comes with the positive of if you're paying him that much money, he's not going to be a champion because
Yeah,
even as a champion, Brock Lesnar still showed up a fair amount of time compared to what they would have to pay him, right? So I don't
exactly.
I don't see him retaining. Uh, it would also probably lead to an Undertaker-esque role, which I think fits Brock Lesnar perfectly because you could still have that kind of beast guy in there, and he doesn't need the title, and he would fit well, and it's something that it just makes sense, and I would like to see Roman win for once. All right, and then we move on to another 1v1 match, but one that's TBD. Cedric Alexander against the winner of the Gauntlet, right, on 205 Live.
Yeah.
So I personally
Um,
think it's
yeah,
Murphy.
yeah, me too.
So if it's Murphy, I don't know if he's winning it straight away, but it's inevitable at this point. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think if it's Murphy that he'll win at his first go, or
Mm, I think that the finish isn't gonna be really clean, but Alexander will retain. Maybe it's gonna be like a roll-up or something, and they will then fight at I don't know, Extreme Rules. And I think then Murphy is going to win it.
yeah, I think it's a matter of time. I don't know. I would like to see them pull the trigger, but it would also mean, hey, Cedric Alexander, you won the tournament, you won the title at WrestleMania, and you're gonna keep it for about 2 weeks, and then we're gonna take it off you, which would
Yeah,
be
and the feud
hard.
isn't, and the feud just hasn't really been built really, so it just doesn't make sense for the title to change.
No, but it's again, it's going to happen eventually. So, but Cedric
Yeah.
Alexander should win this one. All right, now we're on to the tag team matches, which I also think, unfortunately, unless they add some kind of surprise here, that it's going to be pretty much what we expect. First, the Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, Bludgeon Brothers all day long. And I think they will then maybe even start a feud with Sanity already. I don't know.
I don't know what they're going to do with Sanity. That would be
Because
something though.
because what other face tag team other than Usos and New Day is there on SmackDown?
If you even consider the Usos as I mean, they're over, but they could also work as a heel tag team. Yeah, there's not many. Who are there? I mean, well, Gallows and
I
Anderson
think,
too.
yeah, but they are heels.
No, they're not. They're face.
Well,
They're faces. They've been faces for a while. So unless they team up,
yeah,
no,
they
but
are
even if they team up with Styles, it's still a face faction. So
true, yeah.
they would have to turn heel. But let's see, Gallows and Anderson, New Day, Usos. Then what do we got? The Bludgeon Brothers, the Bar, Sanity, and pretty much it. I guess like 6 tag teams. Is that what we have? Maybe. Yeah. I don't know if I'm missing any.
Yeah, seems like it.
There's not a lot of tag teams. There's not a lot of tag teams.
Nope. But neither are on Raw.
Yeah. They're all on Raw. Yeah. All right. So the other one would be the Bar versus Matt and Bray Wyatt.
Maybe.
Maybe. Do you think there's gonna be a surprise tonight?
I guess. I mean, why else would Breezango have beaten the Bar?
I don't know.
And the Bar are on SmackDown now, because so.
But I guess even if you put Breezango, they're not gonna win it anyway. So
Yeah, which is honestly sad.
yeah, a predictability isn't bad, but it's one of those where you kind of wanted to see a surprise here, but yeah, it's Matt and Bray are gonna win it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, moving on then to the Royal Rumble match itself, the 50-man Royal Rumble. Peter, I don't know, I don't know how you want to go about it. Who do you think is gonna win, or do you want to go by what the betting odds are saying? What's your direction on this?
I don't know. First of all, I just don't like it that thing on the line than just a stupid trophy. I mean, I would have found it better if they had maybe like said, okay, the winner gets a title shot of his choosing the next week or something like that. But no, just nothing. So yeah, the betting odds are saying for the top three, Strowman, Bryan, and Corbin, with Strowman being the favorite. But I don't think that Strowman is going to win it. I actually think that Bryan will win it just to like boost him and send the fans home happy.
It's so meaningless, isn't it? So it almost doesn't matter who wins. That's
And the biggest bullshit is that there are even one or more of those KSA tryouts in it.
which is well, okay, they're gonna be like cameos, but yeah. What if the Great Khali wins it? I mean, he's in it. He's in it. Let's have the Great Khali win it. Why not? wait. I just remembered that Jinder Mahal is gonna get cheered probably. Oh my god, if they have Jinder Mahal win.
Why do you think so? It's in Saudi Arabia, not India.
But he's got like those connections with.
Are you being racist now?
No, I'm not being racist. I'm just thinking that he might get cheered. I don't know. Why
I
not?
don't think so.
Why not? I mean, it could be.
If they cheer Mahal over Hardy, I will
That's the
actually be
thing, though,
pissed.
right? That's the thing, though. It's Jeff Hardy, but if it was somebody else, maybe they would cheer over, Jeff. But anyway, the Great Khali wins it. No, I don't know. I don't know, man. Might be Daniel Bryan, but at the end of the day, it's so useless that it just doesn't matter who wins this. So
Exactly, yeah.
it's also gonna be a freaking waste of time.
Mhm.
I don't. It's gonna be bad. I don't really understand why they're doing it, but it is what it is. We're gonna have to live with it. All right. Moving on from that, then that's the greatest Royal Rumble predictions. By the way, we're gonna have a podcast on Friday. Should be after the
Yep.
greatest Royal Rumble ends, around that time, and what you're going to review. So we'll see who got what right. I'm guessing we're gonna get 100% right. The Royal Rumble being a little bit of a a toss up. But yeah.
Did you predict who was going to win the Rumble?
I said the Great Khali is a joke, and then I said Daniel Bryan, and then I said it doesn't matter. So I mean, I'll go Daniel Bryan, but at the end of the day, that's what I said. It's so meaningless that it doesn't even matter who wins it.
Okay.
All right. Well, now you brought this up, and it's an interesting thought, an interesting idea, because we talked about it with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax last week, and who should dethrone who. So I guess we should start with the
Maybe let's start with NXT.
Okay. Whew, NXT. All right, that's gonna be a hard one. NXT Women's Championship. I said Dakota Kai last week, and Tony Storm was a bit of a joke, but I guess I stick with Dakota Kai or Candice LeRae, but I'm not sure. What do you say?
I don't even know who I predicted last week.
I think Nikki Cross, maybe.
Yeah, or maybe Kairi Sane.
I don't know if maybe I don't know, because you're not really Kairi fans, so.
And to be honest, I don't know now either who is going to dethrone her. I mean, right now from build-up, they have only really built up Bianca Belair, but I don't think she will ever win the women's title. At least I hope so.
Is Bianca gonna be one of those where she's gonna get into the main roster without even really deserving it as much as others?
She's probably gonna be like a Dana Brooke or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know anyone who could dethrone Baszler right now.
From a proper build-up, the only thing that we have would be the Dakota Kai. So
yeah,
that's my answer, because it's the only thing that they've actually built for. If not, then Kairi Sane is the only other answer, really, because those are the only two feuds that she's had so far. So it's kind of hard to know what's going to happen. Anyway, we move on to the tag team championships. Who do you think is going to defeat the Undisputed Era? Roderick Strong.
I'm going to go with a bit of an underdog pick. I will actually say TM61.
Yes. Okay. Good. I guess we're on the same page.
Okay, because first I was gonna say British strong style, but that would have been too obvious. So yeah, TM61.
TM61 are actually a good tag team.
Yeah,
And there's other tag teams there, but those guys, I rate them, and I wouldn't mind seeing them. But I mean, we're talking about this. This is probably like into takeovers, probably like in the next takeover. So
yeah,
that's what's
probably.
happening this first takeover now. The next one over the summer. Um, but yeah, I would go with the TM61 as well. What about the North American Championship though?
Mm, I
You
would
went
say
NXT, you wouldn't
a
remember that one, huh?
no, I do. Um, I would say a face Velveteen Dream.
Is he really a heel though? I mean, I
Yeah,
guess, but
he is full
he's
blown.
so cheered for though. It's like so over. It's so weird seeing heels over that you don't even really think of them as heels.
Yeah,
There's a couple of options, but uh, depending where they want to go, the Velveteen
yeah,
Dream.
but Ricochet would still be too early, and I don't think he will be the second one. Same goes for EC3. Yeah,
Lars Sullivan.
no.
I mean, you know how they like those big sweaty men. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's NXT. It's not the main roster. No, but any of those guys involved in the ladder match probably gonna win it from Adam Cole. To be honest, so either
yeah.
EC3, Ricochet, or Velveteen Dream. To be different from Peter and not say Velveteen Dream, I would say Ricochet just to be different.
Mm.
Um, what about Aleister Black?
Hmm. Who is going to break the streak?
I got the right answer. I don't know if you got it.
Mm. Well, the obvious one would be Champa. Uh, but here's what I thought of. What if they don't have Black lose the title and call him up so that he has to vacate it?
There you go. That's the right answer. You got it, bro. That's
Yeah,
exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say no one. When you asked me like, who do you think? Like no one. I think that's the perfect way to send out Aleister Black to the main roster.
exactly. I mean, this would be exactly the way they did with Asuka, but Asuka's streak was so boring, and she didn't have that good of matches. And Black just has amazing match after amazing match, so it's always something new.
Yeah, I mean the biggest issue with the Asuka streak is that they were always bounded by the streak. They were forced to make it continue when maybe
Hmm.
certain matches she should have lost. So that's also, that's also part of it why the booking sometimes doesn't make that much sense. But I would agree that Aleister Black, going undefeated, because we're talking about because he would probably lose in the main roster, right? We're not talking, and the NXT
Yep,
doesn't have that many matches, so it's easier. It's easy for Aleister Black to be off TV for like 3 weeks. So
exactly. Yeah,
so, it's not like it's a massive streak, and it's not like 200, no, what was it, 480 something days or something like that Asuka was undefeated.
something like that. Yeah,
It's not going to be 2 years of him being undefeated. It would probably be just a couple more months. So I would think that, him going undefeated would just establish him just as one of the biggest stars on the main roster straight away.
yeah. The question is though, on the main roster, who will break his streak? I know my answer.
That's a tough one, man. Why did you bring that up to me? No, because honestly, I had the fantasy booking idea of Shinsuke Nakamura versus Aleister Black, but that would be if Shinsuke had won the championship. I don't I don't really know. Who do you What do you think?
I would I would say Demon Finn Balor.
Oh, jeez. Hmm. I mean, I'm all up for some Finn push, but him beating Alice. Oh man, that would be a good match, man. Jesus.
Mhm.
That's a good shout. That is a good shout. That would be a really good match. Um, all right, let's have. All right, if I'm going to have to pick someone, you know what? If no, it wouldn't make any sense because no, he never. Yeah, you know what? Andrade Cien Almas.
Okay.
Continuity.
Yeah, good work.
Continuity. Something that WWE never seems to, partake in, but continuity on my side. And, Andrade Cien Almas, you know, defeats Aleister Black. That would be a good one, especially with the title
Mm.
involved. All right. Knocked that ball right out of the park there. Home run. Uh, all right. Well, let's move to let's say Raw, and
Yeah.
let's with the women's championship again. So Nia Jax would dethrone her. You said Ember Moon last week, I believe, right? I'm not
Yeah, and I'm sticking with that.
probably probably. I mean, yeah, probably. I don't see anybody else challenging for the title. Not Alexa because she's just got out of the picture. Not Bailey. Not
Yeah.
Sasha. That's pretty much everyone really of note there. So Amber Moon, yeah, probably. Um, what about the tag team championship? So assuming that the Bray and Matt win, who do you think should dethrone them?
Um. Hmm. I mean, AOP would be too obvious, I think. So, maybe Ziggler and McIntyre.
All right, all right, all right.
I don't know.
Well, I would choose the revival just because,
Oh
assume
yeah, right.
assuming that Bray and Matt are over and really cheered, right? Because people seem to love them for some reason. Um, if they lose the titles to them, then they're going to get heel heat, which is something they desperately need. And if
Yeah.
they beat them again, which forces them to break up Matt and Bray, that would be even extra heat because they forced the tag team to break up just by beating them and being better than them, which would leave us to an AOP versus Revival feud, which I would be extremely happy to see.
Yeah, but the question is, who would be the face then?
Oh, what if they break up?
No, if they do AOP versus Revival.
None. Just you don't always need a face team. I just
Yeah,
need
but I mean, two faces against each other works, but
two
two
heels works
heels?
because think about it. Think about it. So the AOP were in a path of destruction. They beat every single tag team up until the Revival. The Revival are trying to establish themselves as the best tag team in professional wrestling. So you have, the guys that never lose to the guys that want to keep the. It would be kind of the underdogs. So the Revival would partake in being the baby faces, but they're not really faces. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but on
Yeah.
when you're doing the match, they would be the ones, doing the face rolls. But it's not. I don't think this one is actually one that you necessarily need to have a face there because they both have logical, uh, right? How do I say this? But it's logical for them to feud. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's inevitable that the best tag team goes up against a tag team that's been demolishing everyone. It would kind of be what the Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers would be had they not have shown their respect to the New Day at the end of Hell in a Cell.
Exactly, yeah.
So there you go. Um, Intercontinental Championship. I think I know the answer to this one, unless you surprise me.
Um, I don't want to say Finn.
Of course,
I will say Dean,
that's a good shout.
but heel Dean Ambrose.
Of course, heel Dean Ambrose. That's how it works. I'm trying to think of somebody else besides Finn. Um, it's so hard because
Apollo.
I'll just go get us go like randomly, and I'll go ahead and pick out a jobber.
Kurt Hawkins.
No, Zack Ryder.
Uh,
Zack Ryder gets his push again. The one that got killed off like
please no.
4 years ago when he was in a wheelchair and
Oh
John
God.
and I don't even want to think about that. No, but you know, okay, I always liked Zack Ryder. I was just trying to, say somebody, think outside the box a little bit. And it's just because we saw it with Jinder Mahal last year. He went to SmackDown and ended up, winning the WWE Championship. So there's no, maybe even Baron Corbin then. All right, so maybe someone that that was on SmackDown that came to Raw that they didn't really have much of a spotlight that they can take on Raw. That's what I was trying to think of, somebody like that. To not say Finn, which I think is going to be Finn. Universal Champion. So let's assume both things. So let's assume one that Brock Lesnar retains. Who would you have beat Brock Lesnar? Don't say Roman Reigns.
No. That is a good question.
If you say
I would have said
I'm gonna kill you.
I would have said Samoa Joe, but he's on SmackDown, unfortunately. So, you know what? Finn.
Awesome. That would be amazing. That's a great shout. I would go with.
And same goes for Roman.
That's good. All right. So my boy gets a push. I like that. I would say Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins does what Roman couldn't do, and he defeats Brock Lesnar. That would be something else, Like build on, right? As for if Roman, Braun Strowman, but I mean Braun isn't really a heel, so it's kind of like they were hoisting that South Africa flag just over the live show. So, but maybe Braun Strowman, maybe Braun.
And we have seen that match too many times.
Yeah, but it would be nice to see Strowman with the strap for once, which he really deserves too. So that's why
I mean, he did have a strap for one day.
What do you? No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. What are you talking about?
The tag team championships.
Oh my god! Why? Why? Why did
you? Don't you remember the great Nicholas?
No, Nicholas the Great. He's the one that's gonna
Nicholas the Great.
He's gonna be the one to win the greatest Royal Rumble. There you go.
Oh God.
No.
Oh God, I hate you.
Well, you brought this on yourself because you brought him up. It's your fault, so blame yourself, not me.
I know. Oh, that is actually a good point in the chat by RJ.
What did he say?
Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn will defeat Brock Lesnar. I actually wouldn't be mad about that.
How does he? That would be. I mean, that would be great, but I don't see them pulling that off. Because I don't think they value Sami Zayn more than they value freaking Roman Reigns. And if Roman doesn't beat Brock Lesnar, then sure as hell isn't going to be Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and I think even Kevin Owens is valued higher than Zayn.
Exactly, which he should, by the way. Pointing that out.
Debatable.
Yeah, it's debatable. I was just putting it out there to be, to create controversy. There you go. Gotta forward thinking, So now we move on to SmackDown, right? Because we went through every championship. So SmackDown Women's Championship. Who dethrones Carmella?
You know what, Becky?
There we go. We agree once again. I was going to say Becky Lynch too because I didn't want to go the obvious route with
Yeah, with
Charlotte.
Charlotte or Asuka.
And there you go. I mean, you could build up Becky a little bit more and do the Charlotte versus Becky that we wanted. I mean, RJ, it's nice that you said
RJ Riot
Riot,
is
but
on
she's
Raw.
on Raw. Yeah. So good shout, but she's on Raw now. So that doesn't count. So we both went Becky. The Bludgeon Brothers. How about that one?
Mm, I guess Sanity.
Who? Sanity? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
yeah.
All right. Gals and Anderson.
Okay, yeah.
Of a, it's kind of a toss up right now. We really need this maybe next 2 weeks of SmackDown to really see who they value more, because they've been basically jobbers in
Exactly.
live events. So it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really count. I mean, they lost the titles worldwide, and the bar kept losing. So I don't really think you should value the live event results a lot. But we kind of need to see this
Mhm.
down to see the show develop a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I just chose Sanity because Germany would finally have the first main roster champion then.
Wolf. Is it
Uh,
Wolf?
yeah.
All right. Yeah, right. This is the only. Duh, Peter. Come on. That wasn't 2 years, obviously. The United States Championship will dethrone Jeff Hardy.
Rusev.
That would be the best option. Let's go Rusev then. Um, anyone else besides Rusev?
Um,
I'm trying to think.
maybe yeah. I don't think Almas. Maybe Ty. I don't know.
Who?
Dillinger.
Oh, Ty. Yeah, I wish. I don't think that's gonna happen. RJ, I
No.
said Cien Almas. Cien Almas is a good shout too. Uh, but honestly, I have my prediction, and my prediction stands. Almas is gonna be WWE champion inside of it the next 8 months. And Owens just said Sin Cara. No, no.
Get out of here.
Owen, not Sin Cara, not Sin Butch Cara. No. Anyone but Sin Cara at this point. Uh, anyway, it's also funny how he's on SmackDown and not part of 205 Live. Why does he not go to 205 Live? Just fuck out of here.
I think he was part of 205 Live in the Lucha House Party, but then disappeared for some reason.
Right? Which is stupid. And
Because I think in the beginning they were actually 4 guys, if I remember correctly.
on 205 Live?
Yeah.
I
Because
know.
I think they had Kalisto, Dorado, Metalik, and Sin Cara.
Yeah, they had Sin Cara. They had Sin Cara there, but they should bring him back to it because it makes
Yeah,
sense. And he's not on SmackDown, which is good for me.
exactly.
Um, that would leave us with the WWE Championship. Who dethrones AJ Styles? I think we're both going to go the same way, unless we don't go the obvious answer of Samoa Joe.
I was gonna say Joe.
I know you were going to say Joe, so that's why I said if we don't go with the obvious answer.
Yeah, but other than that, probably Brian. And no, it's not gonna be Nakamura.
All right, here's what WWE are going to do. No, I'm just kidding, but it's something that I would see happen. Because
Ew.
I mean, they like him.
Ew.
I mean, I don't fucking know. I'll go the Miz.
That is also a good shout, yeah.
There you go. It's a little bit better than
Yeah.
I know
Better
Brian.
than Big Cass.
Yeah. Like, everything's better than BK. I mean, not Sin Cara though. Not Sin Cara.
Maybe. I know it. Our truth.
that's definitely the right answer. Our truth. Um, Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Anyway, what do you think? Maybe just a couple of people. Uh, it doesn't matter which brand. Just who do you think deserve the clean slate somewhere else?
Mm,
You want me to go first? If you want me to go first, I can go first.
yeah, go first.
All right. So from the top of my head, Ty Dillinger is one,
Mm-hmm.
which I would have liked to see him move to Raw. Finn Balor, I think, or Seth Rollins, one of them would make the most sense
Yep.
because the thing that I have with Raw is that Raw is probably going to be dominated by the bigger guys: Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
Roman Reigns. I don't see where Seth or Finn fit into that. I know Seth is higher valued, but even still, it's still hard for him to get over to that, title reign, like
Mm-hmm.
the Universal Championship. Meanwhile, on SmackDown, you have guys like Nakamura and Daniel Bryan, even with Samoa Joe in there, and he's beatable because Finn had a rivalry with him back in NXT where he beat Samoa Joe. So I mean, it would make more sense for Finn or Seth to go to SmackDown simply because I value them more than the mid Carter role that they currently have.
Yeah.
So Ty Dillinger and Finn Balor, just two random shouts.
Um.
The Revival. There's another one.
Okay. Yeah. I would probably go for Usos, Alexa, and Becky.
I totally forgot about Alexa. That
I know.
Alexa definitely. Um, yeah, but those are really the major ones I think. Uh, Especially I think the ones that they really missed was Finn or Seth, the Revival, and Alexa. I think those should have happened.
Yeah, and Becky, I think as well, because she didn't do anything on SmackDown.
You know what? If Becky went to that division, she would probably be one. It would make sense if she went there. They're
Yeah.
stupid. They wasted that. They wasted that.
Mm.
All right. So, what do you think about the possibility of there being women tag team titles? Either.
I mean, if it is one title for both brands, I like it. But if they do two separate ones, I really don't want to see it because the roster on both brands is just too small for two separate titles. Um, and I don't really see how they want to make sense for the tag teams to be created. I mean, they have Alexa Bliss and Mickey now. They have Charlotte and Becky theoretically, and the Iconic Duo, but that's basically it.
You forgot about the biggest stable in wrestling.
The Welcoming Committee, Lana and Tamina.
There you go. No longer Natalia. Sad face. Sad face crying emoji. Uh, I think creating women's tag teams isn't the hardest thing, but separate titles would. I don't. They what do they have really? All right, let's try and think this through. Raw has Nia Jax, Ember Moon, Dana Brooke, Sasha Banks, Bailey, Alicia Fox.
Oh yeah.
Who else am I missing here?
Alexa Bliss, Mickey James,
Uh huh.
um, Natalia,
And Ronda Rousey.
and Ronda Rousey, and Riot Squad.
That's 13 women. If we're
Okay,
able, if we're not missing anyone.
that's
But
actually more than I thought.
it's more than you thought, but still nowhere near enough to create a tag team division.
Exactly, you would need at least 20.
Yeah, because you need at least what, five tag teams probably.
Yeah.
So two, that would be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, that's basically half the roster. That's basically most of the roster. 90% of the roster would be in the tag team division.
Yeah.
So co-branded or scrap it altogether. It wouldn't make any sense because, or either
Yeah.
just call up more women, and that way, okay, you have like 20 women on Raw and 20 women on SmackDown. Okay,
I mean, they wouldn't really be able to pull that off because even on NXT they just
even
have like maybe 10 maximum.
I don't even know how many women they have on NXT.
Not many.
I'm actually gonna try and see if I can maybe find the NXT roster and see what I can find here. That's for women because all right, so here's just some that Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, Kairi Sane, Lacey Evans, Nikki Cross, Shayna Baszler, Tainara Conti. We would also be able to add Dakota Kai and Nixon Newell. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are about 9 women. There's probably more somewhere. But Alaya, that's 10.
Yeah, true.
I don't even know who this Jesse Elaban is, but okay.
I
Rain
don't know.
Gonzalez also not know either.
On Wikipedia they have just 10, I think.
All right, but we
Yeah.
also have Rhea Ripley,
Oh yeah.
Vanessa Bourne. I don't know her. I know Zia Lee,
Mm.
and Zeta. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 16 women.
Yeah, but still not enough.
Nowhere near enough. No, nowhere near enough. They would have to sign a hell lot more women to be
Yeah.
able to pull off a women's division. So who was the woman? There was the Indian woman. I don't know who the Indian woman was, but she's in also in the performance center. But she's not
Yeah,
one.
she is the I think she's called Kavita Devi or something.
Yeah, probably that sounds about right. Uh, but I don't even know if she's on TV because Leo Rush is hanging out with this huge. I also think he's.
Yeah, I saw that.
I have no idea who he is. So,
Me neither.
but on TV or that were actively on TV at one point, they have about 16 women,
Yeah,
and 15 if you don't count Nixon Newell because I don't think Nixon has showed up on TV yet.
exactly. Yeah.
Owen also just said that she was trained by the Greek Khali, so she's gonna be the best. Yeah, if all that she's going to do is chops and headbutts, and I mean, yeah, she'll be great if that's all she does. Um, all right, so we're going to settle for co-branded or scrap it altogether, right?
Yeah, I would scrap it.
All right. So let's talk. Last topic. Unless you then have anything else to say, then we'll get to questions. But the Rusev situation. So, what
Mhm.
do you think about it? What would you do about it if you're WWE? What do you do?
I think WWE needs to stop making Rusev being booked like a heel and just make him a face because he is just way too over. He's more over than Styles. And just have him win a title for once so that he actually gets some exposure with it and gets lots of TV time. I mean, he does get a lot of TV time now, but I think he just needs something to show. I don't really want to see him leave, and I don't think he will.
All right.
So I think he will wait to see what happens with him, and I think if he doesn't get a title till like next year's Mania, I think he will leave then, but not in the near future.
All right. RJ said that he heard that TNA are hiring, so Rusev can go there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a cheap go at the, you know, Kurt Angle and Raw writing that. Owen said, "Give him a title and pray he doesn't want to leave," which
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Um, but I agree
Hey
with
Snake, what's up?
other people don't get that, Peter.
I don't care, he gets it.
Eunice is here. All right. Anyway, we'll get to the Rusev thing a little bit later.
Yeah.
I want to get to my questions first, and then we get to the other questions that you have. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the first question, I mean, they all came from Sarah. So anyway, why do you think the WWE decided to move the Riot Squad and Absolution?
I think they moved Absolution to SmackDown because of Paige, so that they can like interact with her, because I think they feel more comfortable around her. And I actually think that WWE sees more in Absolution than in the Riot Squad. And I think they want to make SmackDown like the better show again, so I think that's why they moved them.
It would make sense given the fact that Liv Morgan can barely wrestle. Sarah Logan does not have a character.
Sarah
And
Logan wrestles worse than Morgan.
see, the thing is, the people that watch the Million Classic says that she can wrestle. I haven't gotten to watch the Million Classic. Don't kill me, Sarah.
Was she in the Mayhem Classic?
She was.
Okay.
And people
I
said
completely forgot about that.
So I have to watch the Million Classic, and I'll tell you what I think. Yona said because we got sick of Absolution versus Sasha or Bailey.
And now we have Riot Squad versus Sasha and Bailey,
which is yay. No, but honestly, creative just got tired of both stables, I guess, and they wanted to try and maybe give the other. So basically, SmackDown's like, hey, we don't know what to do with the Riot Squad, and the Raw creative is like, I don't know, we don't know what to do with that. So now that Paige is hurt, or she's never gonna wrestle, so they just flip them around. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, that's my main answer to that.
But I think to really make those members work, I think they need to split up both groups, and maybe like have Riot be a big star and Sonya Deville, because otherwise those groups just aren't working at all.
Yeah, I was going to say that Liv Morgan can barely wrestle, Sarah Logan does not have a character, and Ruby Riott and Sonya Deville are basically the same type of women with the same type of potential.
Yeah.
Mandy Rose is about between that Liv Morgan and I don't even know what comes after Liv Morgan, but a little bit higher up. I don't get why people like the Riot Squad. Riot is the only one with talent. That's what we're discussing here. I just
completely true.
I don't know, man, either. Liv Morgan never impressed me. I know she's hot, so that's why people like her. But she's not that good of a wrestler. I mean, that's the first time I saw her like punch someone, I was like, "What is she doing?"
Yeah, I know.
And this for Sarah, I'm not sure if she's not talented, but she has no character. So, all right. Moving on then to the other question. All right, this one is a little bit more complicated.
Oh God.
It's just because you have to think about it, and it's not that easy to think on the fly. But we already talked about it before going live. So, if they do a tag division for women, what should the titles look like? Should they be a new design or just reuse the tag titles that they have right now for the males, basically?
Well, if they would reuse the design they have now, I think they would just put a pink strap on it, or like maybe like one half red, the other half blue, if they do go cross-brand, and that would just not work. So I think if they do it, they will have a completely new design for it.
I just want something in white and that it looks good. It's not easy to think of women titles design. Trust me, I was one time I was playing 2K18 and I was trying to create some women's, and I'm like, I can't think of a title, but it would probably be white with gray plates. That would be what I would go for.
You see, that's what I don't like about the tag team championships, those gray plates or those silver plates. To me, those don't mean anything. They don't look prestigious at all. Why aren't the plates golden?
I don't I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe actually white and gold wouldn't look bad. So that's a good shout. Um, by the way, we talked earlier about who should dethrone Naya. We both said Ember Moon. Ruby Riot would be an excellent shout if she's nowhere near the Riot Squad.
Yeah. Well, I think if Ember wins the title, I think the first feud for her will be Riot.
Just as long as it's not the Riot Squad,
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with that. So who should be the first women tag team champions? Should they go ahead with that? Owen already answered, saying if the Iconics aren't the first champs, we Riot. And then RJ now said that Bella Twins for the women's tag champs. We're gonna go a different direction, aren't we?
You mean different than them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We,
Yeah, go
we
ahead.
I was just gonna say that we were discussing this before we went live, and we were thinking about someone besides, the Iconic Duo or the Riot Squad or Absolution that kind of made sense, and we came to a pretty decent conclusion that if neither of them turn heel, it would be a very interesting tag team. So Peter, take it away.
Um, I don't remember what we said, but I would say Charlotte and Becky.
That was exactly what we said.
Good.
Peter. We said Charlotte and Becky. We think that that's what makes most sense if we don't go the super obvious route.
Yeah.
We didn't want to say the obvious answer. So Charlotte and Becky would be something that's pre-established. If not, I would have said Sasha and Bailey, but they're no longer with the tag team. So
Yeah.
although I would like to see a heel Becky and a heel Sasha team up, that would also be an interesting one.
Exactly. Oh, and RJ, I don't think the Bella Twins will return in the next 1 to 2 years. I mean, if Nikki Bella returns, I would actually love to see some kind of interaction with her and Cena.
You're so mean.
I know.
Anyway, Owen also said Alexa and Miki.
Yeah.
That would also be a fair shout, but we try to stay away from pre-established tag teams.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, my idea would be a heel Becky and a heel Sasha. That would work. That would work. Wonders.
Yeah, true.
All right. So now that Paige is seemingly faced, do you think Absolution would still use her theme? What do you think, Peter? I think no, because I saw I think I saw it on YouTube somewhere already that at least Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville got new themes. I think so, or at least Mandy Rose got a new theme. So, what do you think, though?
I mean, on Raw, they were still using, I think they were still using Paige's theme.
Yes, they were.
So, I mean, of course, it would probably make sense to make them debut on SmackDown with a different one to avoid any confusion as to who comes out. But they could also maybe just cut out this Raven scream at the start and just have a completely different Titantron in different colors. So that could also be a way to avoid confusion, and that would probably be the most WWE way to do so.
That's true. Owen said that he would like them to use Sonya's old theme, which, don't worry, Sarah. I remember. I will listen to it after the podcast, so not bash my head against the wall. Yeah, Yono said that Mandy got a new theme, and he's not a fan of that.
Yeah,
All right.
no, I can see the chat. Oh yeah, okay, I know. You're doing this for...
not for you.
I know.
All right. The last question that I got from Sarah was, when Black gets to the main roster, who do you want him to feud with?
I think yeah, we talked about this earlier for who we would want to make, or who we would want to break Alice's streak. So I would of course, like to see him feud with Balor, but there are just too many opportunities. I mean, you could go with Joe, Bryan, Styles, Rollins, just any good wrestler, basically.
You stole my pick with the first person that you said besides Finn, which was Samoa Joe. Some kind of like hard hitting mixed up with technical wrestling kind of things that what I would like to see them go with. Bray Wyatt. I mean, RJ, he needs a whole new character for that
Yeah,
because it would be basically doing Aleister Black versus Dolph Ziggler. So
exactly.
Bray Wyatt, very decent shout, but he needs to completely overhaul. Um, completely new overhaul. All right. So, what other questions did you have?
Let me see. Yeah, I had a question by Aaron Ortiz. He asked, "Do you think the winner for the Royal Rumble on Friday should have won something different instead of a trophy?"
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely, definitely. Like I think you said it that it should be some kind of title shot,
Exactly, yeah.
whatever title they wanted or something. It would that yeah. Who cares about a damn trophy? Oh, well, that did wonders for the Under the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winners like Mojo Rawley, Baron
Mm.
Corbin, and it's got to do wonders for Naomi too. Just make it some title shot. Yeah.
I agree. And then we also had a question by Mr. Super Anonymous Celebrity Brandon himself, who
Oh,
asked, any chance of Daniel Bryan winning the Greatest Royal Rumble? And we discussed it, and yeah, we basically both agreed that Bryan was probably going to win it.
yeah, he's probably gonna win it. They're probably gonna give him the Royal Rumble win that he never got, and they'll send the crowd home happy, like Peter said a bit earlier.
Yeah.
I
That was actually every question I had. Oh no, I think I had another one. It was something with. Oh yeah, it was the Rusev thing if he should go, but we already
yeah,
said that.
if Rusev should go or not. We are hoping he doesn't. If he should, probably he should, really,
Hmm.
but I hope he does not. That you know, I don't know. What do you? If you're Rusev, do you think that he should go, or do you truly believe that you should wait another year? Because that's what you said.
Um, I think he should wait another year. Because the way they're using him right now, I mean, he is technically in the main event of SmackDown against the top stars, so he actually can't complain. And if they are going the route that they are letting him feud with Hardy for the US title and giving it to him, it is great. But if they are not and he just like gets lost in the mid card, I think he should leave next year.
Yeah. Okay. So you're sticking with what you said.
Yeah.
Owen said that Dave Meltzer said that Apollo would win the Royal Rumble. I don't know if Dave Meltzer said that, but honestly, I couldn't care less.
Who would win? Apollo?
Apollo, yes.
Yeah, fuck Dave Meltzer.
Yo, no, we already talked about who we think should dethrone AJ Styles. So you go ahead and you listen to that a little bit earlier. I don't even remember who I said, to be honest with you. Oh wait, I
We
said
both agreed, I think.
wait. Wait. The obvious one would be Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
said
you
I
said Big
said
Ass, and
yeah,
I said Daniel Bryan, I think.
yeah, but then I made but then I said somebody else. I don't remember who I
Then
said.
you said
He
The
wasn't
Miz.
The Miz. There we go. Thank you. I said The Miz. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I couldn't remember. I was like, he wasn't Ty Dillinger. Why does Ty keep coming into my head? Uh, no. I guess before we close out the pod, just to see if we end up getting any more questions from the live chat, uh, do you what are your expectations for? Oh, that's a good one. You wanted to talk about Neville. I forgot.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that too.
So Owen asked, Neville return anytime soon.
Yeah. Um, I don't think so. Um, well, the way it is right now apparently is that his contract is frozen and he has a couple of months still to do. So, I think he will either maybe sue WWE and try to get out of his contract that way, But maybe he just like comes to some agreement with them for, I don't know, some backstage role that so he isn't on TV technically, but he is doing something, and so that way he can work for them like for 1 or 2 months and then go to the independent scene.
Hmm. Uh, I think the window for a Neville return has closed.
Yeah,
I think Raw after Mania would make sense. Superstar Shakeup would make sense. Surprise return as Braun Strowman's partner would make sense.
yeah.
Right
I
now,
mean, how long has Neville been gone? I think it has been more than a year, right?
I think he went. No, he went AWOL. Was it? When was it Enzo Amore won the championship? Does anybody remember when Enzo Amore won the championship? I think that was like,
Wait,
I don't want to say October. Was it October?
I think it was exactly on the day when Raw had Enzo versus versus Kalisto in the gauntlet match, right?
I think it was around that time, yeah.
I
If
think
not
it was
that.
that night. Let me just Google
October.
that.
Owen saying October. Owen saying October. So if you want to Google it, we'll Google it.
Yeah, October 23rd, 2017.
All right. So,
So
that,
basically just half a year.
yeah.
Dang. It feels so much longer.
It does, doesn't it? It's wrestling. Also, you asked us what's next for the Cruiserweight Championship. Will Murphy challenge for it? Will Ale win it? We think that Buddy Murphy is going to win the gauntlet this week, and that
Yeah.
he's going to challenge Cedric Alexander. But we do not believe that he's going to win this Friday, but that he will win the title
Mhm.
very, very soon. That's what we think.
And Hideo Itami for Cruiserweight Champion will not happen because I believe that around SummerSlam, if not maybe even Extreme Rules, something like that, they will introduce Cruiserweight tag team titles because there's no way that this whole Itami and Tozawa versus Lucha House Party is not leading to any tag team championships. There's just no way.
All right, so here's the thing. My final rant. Hideo Itami deserves way, 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 way better than a cruiserweight tag team championship.
Yeah,
He deserves way, way better than a cruiserweight championship. Yes,
just like
I know
Neville.
that 205 Live is pretty good, but those are guys that deserve higher exposure. And while being cruiserweight champion would be good because it is a very good show, it's kind
Mhm.
of like being NXT champion is great because NXT is absolutely amazing. But would you rather be NXT champion or WWE champion?
Yeah,
So obviously, so I think he did with Tommy. As much as I wouldn't mind seeing him. I mean, I get it, Owen, that he would finally get a title, but it's just Hideo deserves so much better. So, and the thing with 205 Live that kind of pisses me off is that why does it have to be Austin Aries is also a good shot that deserves more than one
Mhm.
shot. But 205 Live, why does it have to be completely separate from the main roster? It just doesn't make any sense because they're very good wrestlers that would put on great matches against a lot of people. Even
Exactly.
Gulak. Imagine Drew Gulak versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because in his promos he always said he is the best submission specialist in WWE. And no, Daniel Bryan isn't. This was actually planting the seeds for a feud like this.
Exactly, so it makes sense, and it's not gonna happen. And RJ, summed it up perfectly because WWE, enough said, and it
Yeah.
makes it is, it's sad, but hopefully, if I have like just something that I would love to see happen, if just one thing, it would be for them to either present 205 Live as a completely different brand and say, hey, this is a third or a fourth brand in this case. This is a fourth,
Exactly. Yeah.
or they say 205 Live wrestlers can appear on either Raw or SmackDown because I think they would also benefit from having superstars from both Raw and SmackDown instead of
Mhm.
everybody going to Raw because Hideo Itami doesn't have a lot of time on Raw, but what if he was on SmackDown? You
Yeah.
know, it shouldn't be mandatory for them to be on Raw to be on 205 Live, is what I'm trying to say. So I would like to see, either them completely separate them, like they kind of doing, but actually officially announce it, or that they would somehow mix it up a little bit with the main roster too. That's
Mm.
my hope.
I mean, for the last couple of months, the 205 Live guys didn't really appear that much on Monday Night Raw and sometimes didn't even appear at all for like 3 weeks. So at that time, I think they are actually going to make them into their own separate brand. But then they're like, oh, look, next week on Monday Night Raw, we will see cruiserweights. And then it's just like, no.
Right, and I agree. And it wouldn't really break the brand split if the cruiserweights were on both brands, because they wouldn't interact with each other on Raw or SmackDown, right? Because what
Exactly.
I'm trying to say is that, for example, if Hideo Itami is on SmackDown, he's not going to go to Raw to fight Cedric Alexander. He's going to fight him on 205 Live, which is their show. So, just do it, WWE. Just do it.
Yep.
All right. So, we have to basically wrap it up. We've been going for 1 hour and 10 minutes. That was pretty good. Anyway, we'll be back on Friday. I'm not really sure what time. It should be around 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UK.
Mhm.
Thank you, Peter, for joining me once again this week. Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
No problem. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Yono. Thank you, RJ, and everybody else that listened to this live. I know Hassan was in there, so Hassan, there's a shout out to you too.
And Jersey.
Jersey was in there. Is
Yeah.
that
Too
okay?
cool.
Oh, too cool was Jersey. Okay,
Free potatoes. I mean, come on.
I didn't know. How am I supposed to know? I was like, who the fuck's that guy?
You don't know that Jersey loves potatoes?
No, no, I do.
Jesus.
I do. Anyway, anyway.
He will beat you up.
Well, too bad. Anyway, thank you everybody that listened. Thank you everybody that sent questions, and we'll be back right here in about 4 days. So till then,
Yep.
see you guys.